My name is Jocelyn, and I actually host the Parent Expo, and my company is called Engage Parent. So what I do is I offer workshops in the public and Catholic school boards all across the GTA, and focus on parent engagement. And that's why my presentation today is, I say engagement, you say involvement. So let's start with that. And this is a free-flowing presentation, so if you have any questions, thoughts, please feel free to just raise your hand and we can chat about it. So this image of parental involvement, if you've been volunteering in your children's school, you're always prompted to number one, fundraise, number two, donate, right? So the context of parental involvement, unfortunately, in today's education system, is leaning towards more financial supports for the children. Really, involvement means simply that you, as a parent, take time to spend time with your children and teach them, support them in their education, whatever it may be. A few minutes a day, I know we're all busy, but if we take time to literally sit down with them and find out what's happening in terms of what they're learning in school, what they're doing in school, that is parental involvement. So now, like I said earlier on my presentation, I say engagement. And why is that? Family engagement. Bearing in mind, it's not just the parent, it's the whole family. It's actually the schools, the family, and the community. And I even have that on my logo because I strongly believe that it truly does take a village to raise a child. So it's not all dependent on the school system. It's not dependent on us parents. It's everyone. A little bit of influence and help for the child to succeed comes from everyone. And so we are always thinking of different ways how we can involve the parent, engage them to come in, ask them to volunteer. And are there like council parents here that volunteer? Yes. So how often does your council meet in a year? So you're like the parent involvement committee. Right. And so with that, how often do you have fresh faces attend these meetings?
So we'll have guest parents in our meeting, or we do have mostly chairs meetings 3 times a year, or chairs from
And so can you tell us like what specific, 1 or 2 challenges you face over the years in working in these communities?
getting new parents in.
Right. And is there something else over and above the involvement side of parents?
Making the parents come out to the schools to participate in the activities.
Right. And I think that goes with every school. That as much as we would like the families and the parents to come in and be involved in their child's education, or even just like to come on for show. We have an art show, Mom. Oh, I can't because I have to work late today, right? So these little things add up. But I think if the planning is in sync with the school system, with the families, with the community, we can all come together and come up with fantastic ideas to just get them all in one spot, right? Like this is a perfect example of what we're trying to do with the Parent Expo today. So we have brought in a few resources, and we're trying to like say, you know what, there's lots of resources out there. Let's not limit ourselves to what is just in our face right now, right? Sorry, you had a question?
The engagement and the involvement with the kids, it is very difficult for the different ages. I swear to God, sometimes my son almost crying. He was 8 years old, and he said, "Why what?" He said, "Why you want me always to do what you want, not what I want?" I told him, "Because I am your father." He said, "But I'm doing this for me, not for you." That's why you have to learn how to deal with them the right way. Otherwise, to be negative.
Well, that is true too. And this is why we as a community set our goals as a community. We don't impose it on the children because we would like them to grow into their own person. And we encourage that at home, but the question is, do we encourage that at school?
You should listen to them and give them time to express the feelings.
Exactly. I totally agree. And that's where it comes from, empowering the child and letting them know and making them feel that they are more than welcome to really flex their creativity, learn and engage other areas, right? But then goes back to my question, we may be encouraging that in our homes, but does that happen in school? So if we have a fidgety child at school, you get a call from the school teacher and saying, well, your child's in the office. I guess what? Maybe because his attention span is short this morning because maybe he was overtired from the previous night. So things like this happen all the time. So how do we address these little things? Communication, right? We really need to have that open communication and relationship with our school teachers, right? And then the families need to be coming into the school system with an open heart and mind, not demanding, well, I'm the parent of so-and-so and what I say goes. It's a two-way street. It has to be a relationship that happens all for the good of the child, right? And so I always say, be the school council that creates a culture that values learning. So I have nothing against fundraising, I have nothing against any other activities, but those activities need to be driven by whatever values the community wants to instill in their child, right? So we're all like, oh, we have so much technology in the classroom, but do the kids learn from the technology that we fundraised for? Like, we have to understand these little things that we put our time and effort into. How does it work at the end of the day? How does it benefit the education of the child? And then tell a compelling story. Just say, as a family, as your volunteer, I am here to serve, right? It's funny enough, and I don't know if you have had issues with other parent volunteers, there's always the queen bee. Oh, what I say goes. Oh, this is always what we've been doing over the years. We have to come in as a community and always putting the child front and center of what it is that would benefit them the most. Remove the barriers for parents, especially the ones that are working. So let's not plan for meetings that are like, you have to be here for 8:30 when the parent needs to be at work at 8:30 herself, right? Or you have to be here for an event that's like around 4 o'clock. Well, I'm still at work as well. So try to open up the opportunities for these families. I myself, I'm a working full-time parent, but I try my very best to accommodate all the schedules from the school. And in a way, we have to voice it out as parents to say, I can only be there for the school if the school is there for me. So again, it's building relationships, having the communication lines open, and making sure that you are in alignment with the plans for the school. So, just to end it up, the most influential of all educational factors is the conversation in a child's home. So if you speak and engage with your children, check in with them, just see how they're doing. I think we as parents are doing a lot more. So not to be distracted with the shiny objects out there. Oh, let's fundraise for this. And again, nothing against fundraising, but we need to really instill in our children education. And for us as parents to be able to really develop that relationship, because we actually ask the school to oversee our children during the day. Like us parents working, where we spend our 8 hours at work, our children actually spend about 5-6 hours of their day at school. So we need to make sure that they're in a safe, happy, and acceptable place.